And welcome to episode 5 of Kayfabe's Not Dead. I'm your amazing host, CJ, and we got the Dapper and Jess, like usual. I swear there's a fourth member of this crew. He may be
CJ,
buried out back.
you did it again. It's not just the Dapper. The undisputed
For now,
champion of podcast predictions.
we finally have another pay-per-view coming up, so I'm sure we'll do predictions in a later video. And I hope to God myself or Jess win, because
one of us has to.
I mean,
I can't put up with this for another 4 weeks.
either that or we're gonna have to team up and beat them down like the Singh brothers.
I'll tell you what, because 12 days, that title's going to be around my waist.
It's 5 days, man. 5 days.
Yep, 5 days.
5
Great
days?
promo, by the way. I love their new promos, but we'll get to that on SmackDown.
Yeah, we're
Nice shirt, man. Is that new?
Thanks. It's as if I just got it.
check out our WrestleBox unboxing video that Mr. Dapper over here just released, hot off the presses. But anyway, we got some Raw and SmackDown to go over, and should we flip the script and do SmackDown first? I'm just kidding.
Yes.
Yeah, why not, man?
It's the more superior show.
Well, I actually think Raw was better this week, and I think that's
Really?
Yeah. I'm gonna be.
He's
different.
gone heel. I
Yeah,
lost my
I've
job.
gone, the host has gone heel. All hell's gonna break loose now. I think we have a good system going. So we'll start with Raw.
Alright.
So
You're the host.
we get a replay of the Reigns and Braun Strowman feud. We get like all the highlights, all the mass destruction. I think there was like 5 ambulances that have been destroyed during the course of this feud.
And it was finally announced officially, Strowman is in an ambulance.
Yeah. Kurt Angle comes out to greet the American fans, because last week he couldn't be on the show for some reason.
He wasn't going to England, man. We're back in the US of A.
And immediately he's a buzzkill, because he lets everyone know that the top babyface on Raw, Braun Strowman, is going to be out for up to 6 months. What is your reaction when he first says that? I almost turned the TV off. I couldn't believe it.
Now, my reaction was, does this mean when Braun comes back in 6 months for possibly a Royal Rumble thing, is he going to go babyface?
I think he'll be back before the Royal Rumble.
I hope so, because
6 months,
I mean,
I think that might be like Survivor Series. I know it'll be after SummerSlam.
yeah, but I don't know. I mean, usually when they take off 6 to 8 months, you're looking at a heel turn or a babyface turn.
Yeah, I guess his elbow exploded when the
ran it.
evil, vicious Roman Reigns took that chair and destroyed that poor man's arm.
I thought you were going to say when he ran to those Home Depot boxes.
Yeah, do we know exactly what spot broke his arm or dislocated?
I
or
think it
no
was
idea?
just those extra chair shots.
They were kind of
Just a fluid
stiff.
buildup of some sort.
Yeah,
Probably.
I mean, I've heard conflicting reports. Some people say it's a work. Some say it's legit. The only thing I know for sure is that he did have elbow surgery.
Yeah, I mean, 6 months seems like a long time for an elbow fracture.
Is that typically what the surgery would be? Could it be like, are there any like ligaments or any muscles you got to worry about?
Well, there are, but it takes 2 months for bone to heal. And then it probably takes a couple months for him to get back.
Have you seen the size of his arms? They might take a little extra to heal, man.
Not if he's on that Vince McMahon juice.
Yeah, and do you think this kills Braun's momentum? Because it did look like he was going to be the first legitimate challenger for the supposed Universal Championship that we haven't seen since WrestleMania. I forgot what the belt looks like.
There's no Universal Championship. It's just a myth.
Oh.
Like Brock Lesnar. These are things we've never seen or heard of before.
Yeah, I heard there's like some man person called the Beast. I don't know.
I mean, I want to say it doesn't hurt him, but at the same time, what does is the fact that he not only got beat by Roman Reigns once, legitimately, then he got beaten down like a jabroni with the chair shots.
I mean,
by a crippled Roman Reigns.
Well, by I would say a heel Roman Reigns, a new.
Yes.
We gotta talk alignment during this this podcast here, because there's been a lot going on that's got me questioning who's on whose side and what exactly is going on.
He's got to be a heel because he grew a beard. The goatee is babyface. The beard's a heel.
I honestly
Brian had a beard, man. Come on, DB.
And you're the heel of our podcast. I have the goatee, and I'm the babyface of the podcast. CJ's just the host.
Yeah, I'm neutral. I'm in the middle.
AJ Styles has a beard.
If I'm being honest, I would say that they're not making Roman heel. They're making him an extreme anti-hero. They're like they're gonna try to straddle that line, that Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock kind of thing, where it's like you don't know if he's heel or babyface, kind of. And I think the big tip off to that. I'm not saying it's a good idea. I just think this is what they're doing. But I think the big tip off was the fact that he was so vicious with those chair shots, but the announcers were backing him up the whole time. And also, he finally acknowledged retiring the Undertaker again. I thought they were gonna bury that and pretend like that didn't happen, but they did mention it.
Bury that. That's too big.
Well,
that's too big. They're not doing the.
But they didn't talk about it for like 3 weeks. They didn't mention it at all. So I mean I was thinking maybe they were gonna try to sweep it under the rug, and not really mention it until maybe right before a pay-per-view or right before Undertaker comes back from some his Hall of Fame induction or some shit. But I'm sorry, Jess, what were you getting at?
I was gonna say they did have it where Reigns didn't appear outside of standing in the ring for 8 minutes as the crowd booed him, screamed at him, yelled at him.
Yeah,
he goes, "I'm the big dog now," or whatever, drops the mic, walks away, and then we didn't see him for 2 weeks.
Yeah, and in between that time from when he was hurt until now, I mean, how many shows have we had since WrestleMania? It's been, 2 months?
Yeah.
Give or take?
Yeah, we're going into our second pay-per-view, so it's been 2 months.
So, yeah, it's been about 2 months. I would say since that first Raw where they mentioned it, the Raw after WrestleMania, I honestly think this is maybe the second show that they acknowledged the Reigns and Undertaker thing.
I think you're correct. But I do have one thing to say. How dare you group Roman Reigns with the likes of Steve Austin and The Rock?
Okay, I want to make myself.
How dare you?
I want to make myself abundantly clear. I am not putting Roman Reigns over.
Hold up. No. The Rock and Roman Reigns are cousins.
Oh God.
They are legitimate family. They are one and the same. They might as well be the
same.
They're
one and the same.
Black.
Whoa.
They are stunt doubles for each other in movies. They got the same physique, same build.
His dad was Rocky Johnson.
Okay, all right, guys. All right, we're getting off track here.
He has a shoulder sleeve of Samoan ink doesn't mean he's more Samoan than he is African.
Yeah, okay. Next, you're going to tell me Samoa Joe is not Samoan.
We could easily.
Oh my God.
We could easily debate about Roman Reigns for probably 5 hours. So let's get through the opening promo, because we find out that Roman is going to be a part of a fatal 5-way match.
I will say this though about that. I was talking to Jess about it. I am happy to hear that these fatal 5-way, 4-way, 3-ways are now to find the number one contender. I am tired of seeing this BS on pay-per-views so we can get 50-50 booking and save face for 3 baby faces against 1 heel. About time we get a one-on-one match for a title belt. Finally.
Well, I mean, we are getting a couple title defenses in these pay-per-views. Are you talking specifically for the top belt?
The Universal title,
okay,
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, when was the last time the Universal title was defended one-on-one? Finn Balor versus Seth Rollins?
Well, at Mania.
Mania.
and
that was just a give me to him.
Yeah. KO defended it a bunch of times, but I mean, you could kind of say those were handicaps because Chris Jericho always interfered.
Yes.
I mean, it'll be interesting to see what they do with the number one contender stuff. But what do you guys think of the gimmick of the Fatal 5-Way? Have they? I know Kurt said something about this being the first time they're doing it. Did he mean the first time they're doing it at Extreme Rules or like ever? I don't know what he was.
Probably
implying.
Extreme Rules. Like, I'm sure they've done it before. They just call it something different every time. I mean, like kendo stick on a pole match. What?
Yeah, so we get 2 faces, a tweener, and 2 heels in this.
Yeah.
So we get Seth Rollins and Finn Balor, who are the obvious baby faces, and then Wyatt and Joe, who are the heels, and then the apropos, the Roman Reigns.
I mean, it's obvious.
I'm
just
stumped as to where they came up with this list of people.
Samoa
Joe has done nothing but lose from the get-go. He's got no pay-per-view wins. He's got nothing to his name.
He's the right hand of destruction, man.
He came out
and he got put into this Fatal 5-Way. The Miz has more victories under his belt at this point.
You bite your tongue.
I'm not biting my tongue.
I don't know if you'd say that in front of Joe. You'd put the coquina clutch on you.
Yeah,
and make
did you
tap.
not hear his promo?
And I'd kick out of it at this point.
Clutch.
And you go
Seth
to
Rollins
sleep.
Goes out. That is how it works. Cause and effect.
Okay, all right. Let's take a poll here. How long would Miz last against Samoa Joe? I would give him 30 seconds before he sacrifices Maurice to him, and then Joe accepts the offering and basically just kidnaps Maurice like King Kong.
I mean, I think Samoa Joe would put Maurice in the coquina clutch.
DJ, are you implying that Samoans are somehow rapist or something, that he's just going to take this girl and abscond off into the wilderness?
I was implying because he's built like he's billed as a monster is what I was getting at.
Yes.
Just because a man comes out to a kaiju theme song slowed down does not make him a monster.
It's
I mean, are we just going to overlook the fact that
Kane
kidnapped Lita?
Yeah.
And
yeah, we'll get a replay
God
of that.
knows what he does
Yeah.
and see no evil.
Well, when we do a retrospective on the Attitude Era, we can talk about him, and we can talk about some of the shit that Degeneration X used to pull.
I did love Joe's promo. I mean, he probably is in the top 3 with promos right now. And he says, you know, there's only 2 things, actions and results. I mean, I think normally people say actions... Or, they say...
cause and effect.
Yeah, cause and effect. Thank you for the assist.
Actions, reactions.
Yeah, actions, reactions. Or actions and consequences. But he goes with the actions and results. He locks in the coquina clutch, and you pass out. And then Joe yells something about Brock Lesnar, and then Bray Wyatt teleports in. I did like what Bray said though, because I think they are using Bray as a plot device, a foreshadowing, if you will, to what may happen during Extreme Rules. He says that Roman will cower, Joe will fall, and Finn will run. So do you guys think there's any hidden meaning behind what he said?
I mean, if we do get a Balor that bails on this, it's only so he can go backstage and spray paint himself. Come back out as the demon.
That would be great.
Having discussed this with a couple of other fans, I kind of feel that the demon's not going to come out on this 5-way shuffle. No. I think I think Balor's going to make a strong showing get beat, and then we're gonna relaunch the Demon going
I
after the
don't.
belts.
I think it's gonna go because what have we have already seen? We've already seen Roman and Brock. We've already seen Seth and Brock. We haven't seen Finn Balor, and he does hold a point. He never lost his title.
They all have
He's
a
like
point.
Curtis Axel. He still has the record for
They
the
all have a
longest
point.
Royal Rumble.
Out of all 5 of them, all of them have a point but
no,
Joe.
they do not. Roman Reigns has no point.
I think
Wyatt sure as hell has no point to be there.
I think Jess, you're onto something. I think the Demon comes out in one of two ways. He does get legitimately beat, and that like triggers him, or he knows going in prior that he's gonna need to use it, and but I think I think the Demon only comes out though in a one-on-one match. I think, and it's gonna be for the title.
Real explanation for Balor in this Demon setup where it's it's him and then he can switch over to it. I mean, WWE hasn't really done anything.
Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde.
Well, is that
what is there to think about?
Well, no, is there an? I haven't seen a lot of his NXT stuff. Did he cut any promos as the Demon?
The Demon was the thing that he did when he was in England and over in the UK, and pretty much he would come out.
He didn't do it in Japan.
I mean, I'm sure
with
he probably
the Bullet
did.
Club? I'm assuming he did.
I don't think he did with the Bullet Club.
No.
But I'm not 100% on that. But when he was in NXT, he would come out as Finn Balor, and then when he would have a big match, he'd come out as the Demon. But pretty much his thing was, at first it was, it's a cool thing that I used to do. But then when he fought Seth Rollins and was getting beat by Seth Rollins, and he's like, now I got to trigger the inner demon.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just kind of like, why does Kane, the guy in the suit, get his ass whooped, but when he puts a red mask on, he's like total domination in the ring?
I mean,
it's the same thing.
If Finn would have to do something to be able to legitimately get over Brock.
I was actually looking forward to his Raw promo before he said like, "Oh, the line starts here."
Mm-hmm.
But I thought he was going to say like, when it comes to the Beast, only a demon can stand up to him.
Yeah, he hasn't referenced it. He hasn't referenced it.
I thought that would have been a great promo. Not the line starts here, pull a number.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is this? The deli counter? No.
I mean, well, does Finn ever eat? So I don't even think he knows what a deli counter is, dude.
He ate a donut that one time.
He's pretty small to be going up against Lesnar. I mean, that's not a dig on the 205 setup, but he doesn't look like he's going to pose much of a match.
Mm-hmm.
And given the way Lesnar tends to fight in WWE, I don't see it being entertaining.
He doesn't seem to have a lot of suplex moves, so...
Well, that's just like with Seth Rollins when he fought. Everyone's like, Seth Rollins is kind of small to go up against Brock because he beat Roman... I think he beat Roman Reigns, right?
Mm-hmm. Roman's a big guy, too.
Yeah, but Roman's bigger than Seth. And everyone's like, Seth's going to get his ass whooped. Mm-hmm. But then when he threw him into the German suplex, he landed it. I think Finn is going to be that David versus Goliath, running around Goliath, kicking his ass. Mm-hmm. They've even referenced it in some matches against Roman Reigns, saying, I don't even know if Brock Lesnar can stand from those kicks.
Yeah,
when he kicks him in the head.
Skipping ahead a little, just to touch on this, I totally forgot Reigns and Balor fought previously. I mean, that was just out of left field when they brought that up. I'm like, oh yeah, I did see that.
Yeah. And then he got
assuming that was like
clean in the center.
Was that right?
By a crippled Reigns.
Was that like right before Balor got the title?
No, yeah, it was his debut on Raw.
Yeah, he did what, 2 matches that night?
Something like that, yeah. That's how he got to the #1 contender for the title.
So so let's finish up this this promo. So Seth actually finally comes out and says, "Extreme Rules is too far away. How about we fight in New Jersey?" And he goes after Joe, and then
we always want to fight 3 days before the match.
And then Rollins and Joe are fighting outside, and then we get a 3-way brawl between Balor, Reigns, and Wyatt inside the ring. Rollins goes after Joe's knee, and I thought that was pretty clever. And then Joe has to run away. Wyatt eats a Superman punch. Balor hits Rollins and Wyatt with a drop kick, and then goes after Roman. And then everybody is basically going all over the place, and eventually Balor's the only one left standing. So
I'm shooting for Balor.
So yeah,
I think Balor's going to take it.
So just like the Wyatt promo, is this kind of foreshadowing that Finn is going to be the winner because he was the last one standing technically?
I think so.
I mean, what, 20,
He's the
25
only
minutes
healthy
later
one.
he gets beat? Come on now.
That is true. That is true.
He loses to an injured Roman Reigns.
I mean, we're spoiling
From a
it.
cheap shot. A cheap shot.
Yeah, it was.
I think this Raw had so many multifaceted storylines, we almost have to jump around a little bit just to talk about it.
Yeah.
I mean, we had the setup here that moved into pretty much every match tonight was set from this, including the women's division.
Yeah, a lot of this was set up for Extreme Rules. So going into that, we had Jeff Hardy versus Sheamus.
I want to say this, though. When they showed the recaps, I didn't know when Sheamus kicked him in the ring, that's when he knocked his tooth out.
Yeah. Oh,
I thought it was when he went against the turnbuckle.
No. He got bro kicked in the face and lost a tooth.
But it's hilarious, though, because, like, Cesaro and Sheamus are known as the stiff wrestlers. And when they even show the replay in slow-mo to show the flying tooth, he even slaps his thigh to give you the sound effect.
You didn't
and
need
he
it.
still knocked his tooth out.
Yeah. I mean, that's why they're going to be the new tag team champions. I
hope so.
If I get my way. But yeah, Jeff starts the match off pretty well using his quickness. And then he tries to dive into Sheamus, and he just, like, catches him. He's just like, hey, what's up? Throws him into the barricade. Yeah. Jeff keeps taking a beating, but he's able to kick out even after two brutal knees to the face. Sheamus goes off the top rope and appears to get hit by like some sort of modified stunner. It was like kind of a twist of fate, kind of a stunner. Even the announcers didn't really know what to call it.
A twist of stun.
Yeah, twist of stun. The stunner of fate.
Yes.
Cesaro jumps to the outside of the ring as a distraction and gets Matt's attention. Jeff gets Irish whipped towards Matt, but he, like, stops himself. Kind of like the Triple H Stephanie McMahon situation back at WrestleMania. But right when Sheamus goes for the bro kick, Matt yells to Jeff to duck. And Matt takes the bro kick. And I think we're inching a little bit closer to broken. Because he takes two shots. Because the first shot, I don't think he got a lot on to the first shot. Because Matt holds onto the ropes. So then Sheamus just knees him again. And then he tumbles to the outside. So then Jeff's able to finally hit the twist of fate into the swanton and gets the pin.
For the victory.
Yep.
What I want to see, though, and I was talking to Jess about this also when we were watching Raw. Now, Sheamus is a badass with his mohawk, and it doesn't move. So what I want to see during a pay-per-view when they can have the luxury of blood, I want to see Sheamus just go whoosh right across someone's face, and then just go,
cut?
Oh, God. And then you just see blood everywhere.
They would
like
then have to, like,
razor-blade
immediately ban the mohawk.
No, they could keep it, because how cool would that be?
A mohawk stab?
I want to... that'd be a new...
The greatest gimmick of all time.
That's going to be DLC for whatever they call the WWE
2K18.
Yeah, 2K18. Speaking of mohawks, I kind of want to see Sheamus try to cosplay as Yondu now from Guardians. He has the mohawk. He just has to dye himself blue like Arrested Development. But yeah, I thought it was a good match. It was obviously it's the clash of two styles between the really stiff power wrestler versus the quick flippy guy in Jeff Hardy. I mean, it's not surprising.
We've seen it one too many times for me to care.
Yeah, well, they keep doing the
says
singles
the guy
matches.
with the poster on the back of his wall.
Well, he wants to see the broken brilliance. He wants to see the royal family.
Oh, he will. Senor Benjamin will be there.
I mean, they're
It's
obviously
SummerSlam.
doing the singles matches to build up towards Extreme Rules. You know, they got to get
Yeah.
those sweet subscribers. But yeah, I can definitely see where you're coming from though, Jess. I definitely want to see both of them fight. I want to see the tag match because they're both all the matches they've done have been amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think we are inching a little by little. We're getting closer to broken. We're getting there. Well, I even heard some Brother Nero chants.
Yep.
So yeah,
I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah, the Broken
Then
Brilliance
turn
train
around.
is not slowing down. So
I know what it is you're talking about. I have no idea.
So after that, we get Sasha Banks versus Alicia Fox.
Yes.
Yeah, this was a good one. I liked this match a lot.
This is what happens, Sasha, when you do a shitty pin.
Yeah, so we get a replay of last week how Sasha seemed to get the win, even though Alicia appeared to get her right shoulder up. Apparently,
And
the
the
ref
and her ass and everything else up.
What are you implying there? Even after Alicia got her shoulder up, it looks like the ref from the angle he was at didn't see it, or he just ignored it. Who knows? So we get the rematch. Sasha hits Fox with a nice boot to the face, and then Alicia returns the favor. And we get some good back and forth. Sasha's sent flying over the ropes and lands awkwardly on her hamstring or knee. Did you guys remember that spot?
I think it was on the knee.
Yeah, it looked.
And this is why she never will be champion again. She takes a bump and she's crippled for life.
Alicia did land another one of those amazing Northern Light suplexes. I'm surprised they don't make that her finisher. Fox then throws throws Sasha back into the ring, and she hits Sasha with a falling scissor kick. So it was kind of like
it was something.
A Booker
Not
T
really sure.
kind of scissor kick maneuver. And yeah, Fox continues to impress me, and she gets the win.
I think she's getting a push. I think Vince is like, you know what, Sasha? You're not the only African-American diva we got.
Whoa.
Are you saying there can't be two, Hodap?
Well, there are two. Alicia Fox and Naomi.
Wow.
What about two on the same show?
No.
Yeah, I was going to say, this sounded a little ridiculous.
I don't make the rules. Vince does. I just tell you what I've seen.
You let everybody out there on it in internet land know what Vince's rules are.
I'm just an advocate.
I see what you did there. Jess, you have any other comments on this match?
I mean, if you go back an episode and you listen to me talk about Alicia Fox, I think she's stunning. I think she's been buried on 205 for too long, and I'm glad to see her come out. And as much as I love Sasha, yeah, she's never gonna hold a belt again at this point.
So is there gonna be any kind of payoff between her and Noam Dar? Is she gonna just eventually beat his ass or something?
I think this is Noam Dar is the Singh brothers. He's just riding the coattails of the real person.
So more like a James Ellsworth to.
Yes, there's only room for one 205 match on Raw.
So then we get Miz versus Dean Ambrose for the Intercontinental Championship.
And it was good.
Yeah,
I loved it. I love Dean Ambrose tiptoeing on that line of heel versus baby. He reminds me more of a Steve Austin. With the low blow.
He's
what do you mean I'm disqualified?
Yeah, he's kind of like a mix between a Stone Cold and a Mankind, I would say.
Yes.
Like a Mankind light, because he's all wacky and crazy, but he's got
crazy Uncle Dino does nothing for me. I'm over Dean Ambrose.
I mean, how can you hate anybody that goes by Dino? Come on.
Yeah, that's the guy who does my pro wrestling loot box.
So yeah, it looked like Miz had some momentum after he threw Dean into the steps. He also hit some sort of modified neck breaker. It was pretty weird, but it looked effective.
Super
I mean,
effective.
he used to have like before he was Dean Ambrose and he was like Moxley or something. He had like the Moxley neck breaker, which looked very similar to like a stunner and a DDT kind of thing.
Yep, and Miz also hits the lunatic fringe with some yes kicks. Get some yes kicks in there.
Get those in there.
Okay, can anybody tell me how the Miz stole
Daniel Bryan's
his move? How does Daniel Bryan allow that?
I think it was when he was bashing him. I think it was when he was bashing Daniel Bryan. Saying,
Miz was the mentor to Daniel Bryan, and Daniel Bryan took everything the Miz gave him and became the superstar that he was prior to his injuries.
I want to see this feud. I need to go back on the network.
That was when he choked out Michael Cole and got fired.
Did you guys notice the spot when Dean does the suicide dive, and it looks like he literally headbutts the top of the barricade and almost knocks himself out?
Probably.
Yeah. No, I caught that. I wish I could feel more for this match, but Miz and Ambrose have fought so many times. It's like Dolph Ziggler and anybody. It's always adequate. It's always decent.
Well, we did.
It's always adequate. It's always decent. But it's like, okay, this is match 15 out of 25. Who gives a shit at this point?
Well, we did get a couple false finishes. Like he sets up the dirty deeds. Miz is able to counter it into the skull-crushing finale, and then Dean counters that into the roll-up. But eventually, Dean hits the elbow off the top rope, but that gets countered into a figure 4. So they're just going back and forth. But then we finally get the finish with the low blow spot, and
the most
Dean's
telegraphed
just like,
low blow I've ever seen.
Yeah. What'd you guys think of the finish?
Is this going anywhere?
Yes. It's the only thing The Miz has.
Well, okay.
He has to go for the IC title. That's all he's got going for his life.
Okay, so Jess, pretend like you're Vince McMahon. I know that sounds horrifying, but what?
Grapefruit.
Yeah. So you have total control of the booking.
Keep that boy saying Alicia. Fox. It's funny.
What do you do? What do you do with the Miz and Dino?
Let's get rid of that Dean guy. I don't like him. Indian darling.
So what? Ship him back to Smackdown?
We should have the Miz main event another WrestleMania. Grapefruit.
When did he become Beavis and Butthead?
I don't know what you don't have to. I just said pretend to be him, not like impersonate him.
I'm Vince McMahon. My son,
that was horrible.
My son Shane is amazing, and my daughter Stephanie's a disappointment.
That is. Oh, God.
Okay.
That is the worst Vince impression ever.
I go back to my original question.
All right, what do
you do with Miz and Dean Ambrose?
This is real quick. You have Dean Ambrose go and just hang out in Hammer Space. He's got nothing going on. Have him drop the belt to anybody at this point. Give it to Samoa Joe. That way I can believe Samoa Joe is capable of winning. As far as...
the Coquina Clutch.
As far as The Miz goes, I'd put him back in the role he had with dressing up as John Cena and just being a dick.
But
I would switch
amazing.
it up. He would dress up as, Seth Rollins or somebody else and just constantly keep the feud up. He's an actor. Have him act and do this shit.
Okay.
Having him hide behind his wife every match it's not doing anything.
I actually agree with you, but I kind of have a crazy idea, and just follow me for a second. So never do that again.
We just lost 10 viewers, guys.
So Dean loses the belt to Miz. Miz becomes the IC champion, and I love your idea of Joe actually going for the IC belt.
No, you guys both seem to love Joe, and I'm stuck on an island going, I don't get it.
I mean, I'd be okay with that.
An island's not Hawaii, by the way.
You know what I love to see?
Jess.
And
it's Samoa.
This might not happen for a while because Brock is the champion, but I would love to see a three-way battle between the former Shield members for the Universal title belt.
What guy doesn't want to see a three-way? But the point is, the Shield reforming isn't something that needs to
not
be
reforming
yet.
No, not reforming. I'm saying they're all fighting for the Universal belt.
We kind of got that just prior to the brand split. That's how Dean got the belts and went to SmackDown.
Oh, okay.
So even that's a rehash of something we've seen.
Damn, I thought I was being all clever. Anyway, moving on. Quote of the night goes to Corey Graves. Shortly after the Miz and Dean Ambrose fight, Miz wasn't going for a cheap shot, but, and I'm quoting Corey Graves here, a strong style inner thigh grab. If that's not a sex move, I don't know what is.
That's funny.
I got no comment. I think the quote of the night is something else, but we'll get to it.
So we get a quick Finn Balor interview, and essentially he's like, it might be Roman's yard, but it's Finn's universe. So
everybody's grabbing this.
Yeah. Then we get an Alexa Bliss promo.
Perfect as always.
Yep. She drops a promo about how terrible New Jersey is.
She shuts down the what quote
again.
Man. That is the quote of the night.
The crowd is lucky to see a winner and the goddess of the WWE. But before she can go further and further educate the masses that are in New Jersey, she gets interrupted by Bayley. Bayley invokes her rematch clause for Extreme Rules, which seems
and this goes into one of my problems.
It seems like a total misnote. Like, why would Bayley, of all people, want to fight in a pay-per-view called Extreme Rules? But what's your problem with it?
Okay, is Bayley still supposed to be babyface? Because more and more she's just becoming heel.
I'd say she's a babyface that doesn't know what to do.
Yeah, but that's not who she is. She's become what Sasha Banks should be, where
she's Hulk Hogan.
No, she's not, because she's losing.
Well, I mean, in personality.
If they were going to do the Hogan build, she needed to beat Bliss and hold the belt until a new challenger.
Well, okay.
They finally,
Maybe I should have used a different example, but she's the white meat babyface. Like if we're using D&D,
JR.
If we're using
she got to be the white meat.
D&D alignment, she's like lawfully good.
Not making a deal out of it.
She won't even jaywalk. She'll go to the actual corner of the street and wait for the light to turn and say, yes, you can walk.
That's who she's supposed to be, but that's not what she's doing. She's jaywalking, she's crossing the street, she's littering while she's doing it. It's terrifying.
Well,
From who she was the NXT to who she became on the main roster, there's just such a disconnect for me. I've stopped being a fan.
I think Jess, I think I know what your problem is. The problem is that
he's a hater.
Now
that's his problem.
Now that Bayley is on a 3-hour show, she's forced to actually cut.
He doesn't have this.
No,
that's his problem.
It has nothing to do with that, Dapper. I think it actually.
Make me whip out my McMahon impression again.
It actually, you'll make my ears bleed. I think it actually has to do with Bayley's promo skills and her mic work, because she's on a 3-hour show. She has to cut promos. She has to speak. Instead of just doing her wavy arm thing with the balloons and giving kids hugs and doing that, she has to awkwardly challenge somebody like Bliss, who can literally talk circles around her. And I think the way she literally postures, her body language and stuff, I can definitely see where you're getting that, Jess, because she's not acting confident, she's not acting like a hero, she's acting kind of weird, kind of scared, and she's acting just in her mannerisms like she doesn't know what to be doing now that she isn't champ. And if they were smart, they could work this as an angle and maybe slide her down that alignment scale a little bit, make her more Stone Cold than Macho Man. But she's always, as long as she has those wacky inflatable arm tube, man, she's always going to be.
Let's skip to her talking Kurt Angle back behind stage. Is that not what the heel always does? They run to the management. I want the match. I want a stipulation. That's what she's doing.
Well,
That's 100% heel move.
She is entitled to that, and before we get to that, we'll get to that in a second. I just wanted to point out, I loved how Bliss could hardly believe that Bayley was even challenging her, because what she would only know extreme hopscotch or pogo sticking,
which would be an amazing match, by the way.
Yeah. So after Bliss calls out Bayley for being a child, Bayley attacks, and that is kind of heelish, I will say. But Bliss is able to throw Bayley back into the ring and grabs a kendo stick that I'm pretty sure was just as tall as her, and gives Bayley one nice whack. And
it didn't take much to drop her. You didn't see a fighting spirit from her. Going back into, I'm not getting anything out of her, but finish up so we can move past this disaster.
We did get some ECW chants. That was the last thing I wanted to point out after the kendo stick came out.
I just want to know, what does a kendo stick on a pole match entail? Because usually anything on a pole match means once you grab it, the match is over.
I'm assuming,
and that goes into the other problem I was going to have. But CJ, finish up, and then I'll go.
We can skip ahead to the Bayley and Kurt Angle promo. So Bayley's nursing her shoulder after the brutal kendo stick shot she took, the one shot she took. Kurt comes in to check on her and says, "Not to worry. The women's champion match will be a normal wrestling match at Extreme Rules. It'll be a normal wrestling match."
My problem with that, though, is that athletic trainer worked hard putting that ice on Bayley's shoulder just for her to take it off instantly.
Come on, Dap. You know nobody follows the instructions.
Well, Bayley starts showing...
but on television.
Bayley starts showing that fighting spirit that Jess wants, and Bayley's like, no, it's called Extreme Rules. I'm sick of Bliss's shit. Let's get extreme. So Kurt has this like smile on his face, like, we'll make it a kendo stick on a pole match. What the fuck is that? Which just tells
me that A, he's stacking the deck against Bliss, because first off, how the hell is Bliss supposed to get up there? She's half the height of Bayley.
She's gonna summon Nia
Jax. The other Munchkins from the Munchkin Kingdom?
No, she's gonna summon Nia Jax, and Nia Jax is just gonna like throw her.
But it also tells me, A, she's going to make it up there before Bayley, because then she can wail on Bayley with a kendo stick. Because if Bayley gets up there first, and it goes to my alignment problem, what is she going to do? Because whoever grabs that stick, the match typically ends.
Well, no, they'll do the Roman Reigns with the chair thing. Even though he's a babyface, he still gets to use a chair. Even though Bayley is the babyface, she's still going to use the fuck out of that kendo stick.
Just out of curiosity, if we had to predict who's going to win this match right now.
Bliss, come on.
Dap.
Alexa Bliss all the way.
Bliss is at the top, the height of her powers. She is probably not going to lose that belt for a while, and it wouldn't shock me if her run gets close to like a Charlotte length run with the belt.
I hope so.
That would lead to something, the SummerSlam maybe, or one of the pay-per-views where they mix the rosters again.
Okay, I'm showing my noobness right now, but has Bliss and Charlotte fought?
No.
I want to see that.
We will one day.
Clash of Champions. Let's hope we get that eventually at like a WrestleMania or a Royal Rumble. So we're gonna rewind and get the Kurt Angle and Miz promo. Miz interrupts Kurt's important phone call with Sami Zayn to complain about...
Yeah, I was going to say, did you guys like that quick little drop?
I love that, because it's Sami Zayn's pestering the shit out of Kurt. He's like, mentor me! Show me how to win! Show me how to actually win!
I think it's great that somebody else wants to get off the phone as fast as I would with Sami Zayn. Sami,
I gotta go. Add one little thing to kind of go back to when we were talking about The Miz and how I said the only thing he's got going for him is the IC title? I have proof.
Mic skills?
Chris Jericho holds it 9 times. Miz holds it 6 times.
9 fingers. That is 6.
Everyone else has held it like once or twice. That's all he's got.
Forgive me if I'm going a little green in the brain at the moment, but how many main events at WrestleMania has Jericho done?
Probably
I
a
think
lot.
one
Uh,
or two.
no. At WrestleMania?
Like main
Yeah.
event.
Main event.
I would say
Wasn't
one or
that
two.
how he got the Undisputed
Yeah.
Championship?
That might not have been WrestleMania.
That wasn't.
That might have been
Miz
like in
has
your
a
house.
WrestleMania main line.
Continue
Look-
with our
look this up.
podcast, and I'm going
We'll-
to look it up.
We'll,
I am the
we'll have-
historian. Let me go through history of Wikipedia
We'll
and find it out.
tune into our debate show Off the Top Rope for further debates on the Miz and why he is or is not the worst.
And if this is your first time tuning in, we're usually not this disorganized. We are just recording this pop fly style at it's 4 a.m. here. What is it by you guys?
Oh my God, you live down the road from me.
No, there's a time warp. He's in his mom's basement, man. The
I
time does not work.
gotta be up in 3 hours for work.
Time does not work the same in his mom's basement, Hodap. So Miz runs in and it's like, Kurt, what the hell, man? About Dean's kick. And Miz cries some more, and Kurt finally says fine and gives Miz a rematch at Extreme Rules. Miz is still pissed, and Kurt says the belt will change hands if there's a DQ as well. Maurice and Kurt then have a shouting match in French, and Miz looks smug as can be. And I gotta say, Miz has one of the most punchable faces I've ever seen. And anyway, we keep getting bombarded in French until the Drifter drifts in. And and I gotta
just
say,
move past it.
how do you build? How do you have a pay-per-view called Extreme Rules, and then have a match that will change? The belt will change hands on a DQ. Why don't you just make it a no DQ match? Then you
That's
could
too
have
extreme. You're talking crazy right now.
Then you could have all the crotch shots you would ever want.
A Rochambeau match would have been a more interesting proposal for this.
Now you're thinking.
Now we're
I
thinking outside
could
the box.
pitch you 10 matches they need to do, but that's not what they're setting up for.
I really hope they change this match before. They got plenty of time before Extreme Rules, but that totally counters what they were. That's like having Bayley have a normal wrestling match with Bliss at Extreme Rules, pretty much.
Well, no, going back to just the way some of this stuff's booked. Ambrose always sets up for these legendary hardcore matches that nothing ever happens in. He doesn't take any of the bumps. Jericho was the last person that wound up on thumbtacks. Ambrose didn't. Prior to
Speaking
that,
of Jericho,
Lesnar mopped the floor with them, and Ambrose had, oh, here's a fire extinguisher. Ha. Like that was the extent of that hardcore match.
speaking as in favor of Chris Jericho, the historian has now found the answer. The Miz has held one WrestleMania main event. Chris Jericho has done one WrestleMania main event.
So they have to. So obviously they both have to fight each other in a WrestleMania main event.
Yes, I think the one that holds the record is either Hulk Hogan or John Cena.
For most?
Yeah.
That wouldn't be
Yeah,
too
I think
surprising.
it's, yeah.
So we get Neville and TJP versus Jack Gallagher and
Now
Austin
back to you,
Aries.
Kayfabe.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying 205 now that I understand the concept a bit more.
Oh, we got a
Where-
converter.
What's the concept?
Well,
what is
it's
the concept?
no,
There's
it's just
four
2 to 5
wrestlers.
guys.
Two
That's
to
it.
five
Two
guys.
to five
That's it?
guys. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, you said it
That's the
yourself.
entire show. That's the entire roster. That's
You said it.
everything.
You said it yourself. TJP's little, pick your character has 6 blanks
Yeah, people are falling off the show.
because no one cares.
I did want to point
I will
out.
give them.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I will give them commitment to not showing anyone other than those
Yeah.
4 to 5 people.
Sorry,
2 to 5.
I don't know if you guys
2 to 5
noticed, but
shown
And this is our 3rd pay-per-view coming up where it's Neville versus Austin Aries.
I'm fine with it. They are both really good.
Let
3
it go,
pay-per-views,
Jess.
and it's been main event, and how many 205s at this point?
No one wants to
Between 2
see
and 5.
your damn Singh brothers do anything.
I want to see a clean sweep. The Singh brothers come back to 205, win that belt, bring it back to the main show.
Then they feud
or
with each other
SmackDown.
because they're not sure which one should get it because they literally look identical.
Yes, sing one and sing two.
That should totally be a shirt. Anyway, Neville's the first one to come out. And did you guys notice how he basically power walked all the way down the... Like, he almost looked like he was sprinting.
Don't break a pelvis.
Yeah, he was just like, I'm getting to that fucking ring. I'm all pissed off. Anyway, so we get our match.
He's such an angry little elf.
Yeah. Neville and Aries look to start things off, but Neville tags in TJP immediately, who doesn't look happy to have to fight a double. I loved Jack launching Aries over the top rope. It looks like they've been practicing some tag maneuvers. Like they've
had nothing but time. They've had between 2 to 5 weeks to practice this.
Oh my gosh.
During the commercial, Neville tosses Austin Aries off the top rope while TJP was the legal man. Neville gets tagged in and lands some good shots on Aries, and then throws Aries over the top rope. The King then distracts the ref, which allows TJP to land some extra strikes. Aries continues to get beat down until he lands a hand clap. I love that move. Like, yeah, okay. I'm actually curious about this.
Yeah.
I remember like hearing, I don't know if it was like in high school or middle school or some shit, but I was told that you could actually die from having that happen. Is that true?
Yeah, you rupture your eardrums, but they don't really do it.
Well, I understand that, but I'm saying like you could actually hurt, like really fuck somebody up with that.
Yeah, I believe
you could mess them up. I mean, I don't think you could die from that, could you?
Well, here's why I think you can, because you can rupture the eardrum and you could actually release cerebral spinal fluid that surrounds your brain out your ear and your nose.
That sounds like the most metal way to die. I'm crying. I'm crying cerebral cortex fluid.
CJ, I'm gonna run to Home Depot, get the paint. Dap, I need you to drive over here. I need you to witness this.
Witness me. With that said, we're probably going to have a new show soon on Kayfabe's Not Dead, Dr. Dapper's Corner, where he'll explain what injuries are real and not real. And
I will have the stethoscope and everything.
He'll have props.
And my white coat.
Do I get to be the nurse?
Oh, damn it.
Damn
it, Jim, I'm a doctor.
So finally, Austin Aries is able to get the hot tag to Jack Gallagher, and TJP and Jack go at it until Neville and Aries get into the brawl in the center of the ring. I don't know how this happened, but basically they both just rush the center of the ring while Jack and TJP are like circling around each other. And while the ref is distracted, TJP lands a shot on Aries' bad knee. Jack hits a headbutt and looks to capitalize on but Neville grabs his leg, and then he gets hit with the detonation kick by TJP, and they get the win.
That was probably one of the best detonation kicks we've seen in a while.
Dude, it's a sweet move.
That is just a phenomenal move.
And that's why I love 205, man. They definitely pull out all the stops on all the fights.
It is a sweet move. That's why I love that one match segment on Raw.
Because you get to see it between 2 to 5 times a night.
Yeah, sadly.
Oh, by the way, while Aries and Neville were outside, Aries was able to hit the discus 5-arm, and he appeared to knock Neville out. So
probably. I mean, Neville weighs under 205 pounds. And he's like 5'0".
Neville is slowly, ever since he started manipulating TJP, he's slowly been sliding away from that, like, I'm legitimately the best wrestler and I just happen to be an asshole kind of heel, into the I'm a coward heel and I'm using TJP as my minion. So it wouldn't shock me if Aries does finally beat Neville at Extreme Rules.
You know what all those guys in that match have in common, CJ?
They're all 205.
A similar physique to Stephen Amell.
They all will never... See what this says right here? They will never get that.
Hey.
For those listening to an audio podcast, he's holding up something that says heavyweight.
Chris Jericho used to be a cruiserweight, and he was heavyweight champ. Finn Balor is definitely under 205. and he's been the
He's not
Universal
the
champ.
heavyweight champion. He's the Universal champion.
Okay, semantics.
Daniel Bryan's under 205. He could have been the heavyweight champ.
He has never won the heavyweight championship because it didn't exist when they won it.
All right, so we're getting pretty close to the end of Raw. We got the Golden Truth promo.
Thank God.
Arch,
Best thing ever.
don't
Another
spoil it.
festival of friendships.
Don't spoil it. This is just the promo. It's called Build Up, Hodap. It's called Build Up.
R-Truth took him out.
R-Truth is pissed that he lost them the tag team turmoil match and last week, and Goldust tells him it doesn't matter. It's fine. They'll pick up.
Is that a tear, Jess?
I'm doing my best to be strong right now.
They'll pick it back
this
up.
match upset me more
After
It's
beating
like victory.
Gallows and Anderson, the jobbers of the Raw tag team division. Then we get Roman Reigns versus Finn Balor.
No, you can't just blow past this.
No, because I'm going in the order
The
that
pain.
Raw happened. I know.
The pain
Use that pain.
that
Channel
I
it.
felt.
Channel it. Fine.
Let me just
fine.
let the viewers know, Jess, those tears taste like victory.
All right, we'll spoil everything. We're the show's already off the rails.
I
Gold
told you this is one you got to skip around on.
Goldust betrays R-Truth. I actually got flashbacks to the Festival of Friendship. I couldn't believe it.
Friendship 2.0.
I was heartbroken. They even, when they were coming out, they even did the little lyrics to the,
with the heads
song
and-
with the Goldust head. I was like, this is great.
I will say this: what sold me on it? I didn't feel for the Festival of Friendships, because this is why. Chris sold it well, but R-Truth, that look on his face that look
That look of betrayal.
people on
That was
Monday
Academy
mornings,
Award winning.
That look that on Monday mornings you see on Maury Povich when they're like, "You are the father." That look, yes, that one, ladies and gentlemen, that was priceless.
Or the
that look alone makes me believe in my heart of hearts that kayfabe's not dead.
It's
You
not.
can't fake that. That was a
R-Truth
legit look of.
got stabbed by his friend in the back, and it looked more believable than the Shield breakup.
Yeah.
Dean Ambrose is like, "I'm waiting for it."
Yeah, so Goldust beats down R-Truth and we all cry is pretty much what I took away from that.
I couldn't even put on my Golden Truth shirt for this. It's too painful.
It's
Still.
too painful.
He did. He had the shirt on. He's like, "No, I'm the only one that bought the shirt. I should have waited."
There are tens of us.
There are ones of 10 of us.
I do love when WWE puts out a shirt just to swerve us, like the Y2AJ shirt,
Which
that lasted all of a week.
Which I need to buy. I will find that on eBay.
Yeah,
Go for it. All right.
If any of our fans have a shirt they want to send me, just cause, feel free. So we get the Roman Reigns versus Finn Balor match. So again we get another strength versus speed kind of match. Reigns is pretty much taking over early, but then he hits his bad shoulder onto the post. We get some more ring post spots as Finn takes a beating, but is able to kick out. And then he eats a sit-out powerbomb. And I've always I know powerbombs are supposed to basically be finishers. I mean, they always look amazing.
Only when Kevin Nash does it.
We need to have more of them. Ever since The Undertaker stopped doing the last ride, it seems like only KO and Reigns do them.
Sadly.
I mean, come on. The powerbomb should not be dead, just like kayfabe.
I will give this to Roman Reigns in that match. He finally sold the ribs.
The
He
arm,
finally
he's still
sold the
kind of
ribs.
having a problem selling, even though I'm pretty sure they tape it so that he can't move it.
Yeah, pretty much David saying, "Don't fuck this up."
Yeah, so Balor's able to kick Reigns in the bad ribs while dodging a Superman punch. And then he lands, what are those sling blades? Those are pretty nasty.
It's like a DDT.
Yeah.
It's like a DDT or diamond cutter when you let go of it. So it's a back
What were
bump
you saying,
with his arm
Jess?
wrapped around your neck.
I was gonna say, let's get to this match so I can tell you guys a short story.
Okay. So Roman hits
Do
Balor
we
with
light
the
the
super.
candle fire?
We get a couple more false finishes because apparently the Superman punch isn't what it used to be.
No, not with 6 broken ribs and a torn rotator cuff.
True. Balor takes over with another sling blade after countering a spear and almost hits the coup de grace. Reigns is able to throw Balor off the top rope and finally hits the spear for the win. So, like we kind of hinted at earlier, are we finally seeing signs of a Roman Reigns heel turn? Because he beats the legitimate top babyface on Raw, Finn Balor.
I think we will eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be kind of like a down the middle of the road type of heel, where kind of like how, like you said, Steve Austin, or like a John Cena, when he was like Thug Life John Cena in the Doctor of Thugonomics.
Well, I would argue those guys were never heels. I don't think Cena's ever technically been a heel.
As the Thugonomics, he was
Yeah.
designed as a heel.
Okay. Well, what were you
It's
going to say,
just
Jess?
everyone loved
You had
it.
something you wanted to wait till after?
I witnessed my favorite tag team in the world break up. And that sadness was just right here, choking me. And then to see Reigns beat Balor. Reigns, who is injured, beat to shit, has no need or want or in a throwaway match, beat Balor, who is trying to rebuild and get back to
His
the title
credibility,
picture.
yeah.
It was like in Red Dawn, where they're like, you just take that anger, you turn it into something else.
So you're turning it into rage against Roman?
It turned into just a pure, unadulterated rage. Just a hatred, a seething hatred I can't even describe.
Well, is
Well,
it
now-
is it hatred? Is it hatred of how they're booking Finn? Hatred of how they're booking Reigns, or just
Or
a
is it
combination of
hatred-
everything?
Or is it hatred how Goldust took out R-Truth? Is that why you're not showing the mask on your back wall anymore? Did he die a little bit up for you?
He's still up there.
But
So-
not
so now
the
we're gonna have
R-Truth autograph.
But he's not in here.
So the kayfabe of our show is dead. So then we get a random Bray Wyatt promo, and I thought this was actually a good one. I
never is.
loved how he said he's going to use the Spear of Destiny to slay the Beast.
Oh my God.
That it's
Just
his
go back
world
to the
soon,
swamp
and,
bayou.
and that this is his world, and soon it'll be his universe. But first, he must save Seth Rollins.
No, first he must win more than 25% of his matches. Then it will be his universe.
I love how they dropped the whole Agent of Chaos thing, because they're like, yeah, no, we can't really justify him constantly losing.
No.
I can't even talk about him with a straight face
I
anymore. They need to put him in the back for a while.
I wouldn't be shocked,
They
especially with
shaved his beard and brought back Husky Harris.
No, especially with the way they've slowly been building him at Raw, because
That's the
I don't
best
think he's
job
lost
ever.
yet on Raw.
Slowly
Technically,
building him with 2 matches.
it wouldn't shock me if he won at Extreme Rules. It honestly wouldn't. And
It would shock the hell out of me
if
he won it.
they were
Rules.
honestly trying to rebuild his cred, that would be one way to do it.
I could
Just
see
for
him
him
winning
to
at
lose
Extreme
Raw.
Rules if it leads to him versus Balor. Because then you got 2 people with the mystic ability going at each other. That could be something.
Well, and we thought that was going to be, I think that was originally what the plan was. It was going to be Braun and Roman
But I don't
Reigns in
see
an
the
ambulance
victory coming
match.
at Extreme Rules
then-
because it's a fight for Lesnar.
Well, that's what
Yeah, but
that's what
the
I mean.
other 4 need something.
This 5-way match was not the original plan. It's only because Braun got hurt that they're doing this.
This is what I think's going to happen. I think, now, booking-wise, not what I want, I think Seth is going over. I think Bray and Finn are going to go at each other. And then, or no, I think Reigns is going over because then Samoa and Seth Rollins are going to go after each other. And Finn and Bray Wyatt are going to go at each other. And the Great Balls of Fire pay-per-view.
Worst name ever.
Of course it is. That's why it's going to make my stock go down even more.
So then
It's closed again, down.
So after we
Leaving money at this point.
After we got our hearts broken by Goldust's awful betrayal of the truth, we get Cass with Enzo versus Titus O'Neil with Apollo Crews. So we kind of got swerved on this one.
Only match that worked for me this night.
Enzo and Cass.
You mean the pre-show match at the end?
Yeah, the pre-show match. So Enzo and Cass come out and they get a cheap, I'm back home pop because Enzo's from New Jersey. And before they get too far into their shtick, Titus O'Neil and Apollo Crews come out. Titus does his best Enzo impression, and I was legitimately laughing with Titus doing the whole dance moves and the promo. Titus tries to sell Enzo and Cass on his TED Talk seminar. Cass lets Titus know that Enzo and Apollo aren't fighting. It's actually Cass and Titus that are fighting. Titus has a fit because he's wearing a $3,100 suit, but Cass doesn't care because he says Titus is soft. And I still can't get over...
That man is Father of the Year.
I still can't get over how they intentionally misspell soft.
Kurt Angle's the only one that caught it.
Cue the beatdown. Titus loses after taking a big boot, but as Enzo is taking a selfie of the defeated Titus, Crews tells Enzo to put the phone down, and when he doesn't, he eats a kick by Apollo Crews. So it looks like Titus and Apollo are slowly becoming a thing.
Primetime Players 2.0.
Primetime Players 2.0.
Hey, I'd be okay with that. I thought the match was okay. I did love how they made poor Titus actually work in the suit.
I thought he was going to win, actually. He was laying the beat down on him.
Yeah, he was taking the belt off and getting ready to whip him with it. But Titus, he did a good job staying on brand though. He's all about the brand.
He is.
Then we get a TJP Neville promo at backstage. TJP is asking about when's he gonna get his title fight after pinning Jack. Neville tells him to cool his jets because they still have an Austin Aries problem, and
we still have a year's worth till WrestleMania. Cool your jets, TJP.
TJP has a match with Aries on 205, so where they'll be looking to end it all. So I guess they're going to be assassinating Austin Aries on live TV. I mean, that's what I took away from it.
Hey, you guys think that he's going to get jail time for this assassination? If so, do you think it's going to be between 2 to 5 years?
Probably. Dun, dun, dun.
No, he's too short. He doesn't meet the height requirements for the wanted
for
poster.
Real prison.
Yeah, he'll get sent to juvie.
Sent to juvie. And he'll be bench pressing all the juvie people.
He won't be able to play video games in juvie, though.
No, but he can just high fly his way over the fence.
So then we get the main event, Seth Rollins versus Bray Wyatt.
This is what 205 should be about.
They're going to change it into a reality show of juvie kids trying to flip out of jail.
Next week on 205, all the little kids on 205 trying to break out of prison. Neville flaps his ears and flies over the wall. That is why he's the champion.
Neville would be like one of the prison guards. He'd just be like assaulting everybody.
Yes.
I think we actually might have something on our hands, guys. We'll have to plan this out after the pod.
We will.
After so we finally get our main event, Seth Rollins versus Bray Wyatt. Wyatt starts the match off strong by using his strength to knock Seth down. Seth comes back with some quick kicks. We get a great spot on the outside when Bray catches Seth and slams him into the top of the barricade. And then we actually get Bray hitting the superplex, which is always going to get a pop out of me whenever you can get a superplex. But Seth takes over after the blockbuster, and Bray almost wins after hitting his own version of the Rainmaker, that the pull-in clothesline. And then he hits that kind of rock bottom slam. So Bray's pretty much Bray's pretty much controlling this entire match. So, like I said, it wouldn't shock me if this is hinting towards a Bray push. But then Joe comes in and ruins an awesome match after Seth jumps on top of Bray from the top rope.
Didn't I tell you that is what should be happening when Samoa Joe beat Seth Rollins at that last pay-per-view? Is have this, every time you try and stand, Seth, I'm going to knock your ass back down.
I'm going to choke you out.
You heard it here first.
I like the standoff between Joe and Bray.
I've been pushing this for 6 months.
Joe and Bray kind of...
they said no.
Joe and Bray kind of look at each other, and they're like... It kind of looks like they're about to fight each other, because, they're both in the Fatal 5-Way match. Nope. The heels team up, and they beat the crap out of Seth. And then... Bray hits... they beat down Seth some more, and then Bray hits Joe with the Sister Abigail, and then... So he does betray Joe, and then he hits Seth with the Sister Abigail, and we cut to black.
The Sister Abigail move makes no sense to me. They just kind of put you in this little back bit, and you're like, waiting.
Well, suppose
now I hit it.
Okay, I have two explanations. A, you're just really fatigued and don't know where you are.
Samoa Joe just came out.
I said I had two theories. Or
I know he's got a heart murmur, but he's fresh.
Or two, Bray's using his Dracula-like powers to seduce his opponent to being lifeless so that he can land the maneuver.
He can seduce his opponents like a homeless man seduces you for money. It doesn't work.
That's because I never carry cash on me. Jess, what did you think of the main event?
They have the chips.
Did not care one way or the other. I truly believe the main event should have been the Apollo Crews Titus O'Neil.
I thought you were going to say the Golden Truth breakup. That should have been the main event.
Oh, God,
main event should have been all 5 of those guys came out.
Yeah, you want to throw some salt on it while it's here? It's fresh. Is that medically what I should be doing? I
want to know, who are you angry at?
I'm angry at myself for opening my heart up to love again.
I mean, obviously, CJ's mad at Kevin Owens for
I'm never
Jericho.
believing in love again after that. I learned the first time. So what'd you guys think of Raw overall? I thought it was better than last week. I think it's they're slowly building up to Extreme Rules. Overall, I thought it was okay. I'd say if last week was like a C-, this one was like a C+.
I'd put this one at a solid B. I think it's been the most entertaining it's been in weeks, but
yeah,
still not Smackdown level.
Yeah.
I mean, it's better than it's been, but it's still not in the honors classes yet.
I think they're still trying to figure out what they're trying to do with all these pieces after the shakeup, especially because, they do have 3 hours, and that's a shitload of time to fill.
I'm telling you, go down to 2 hours for Raw, the last hour would be 2:05.
That wouldn't be bad. It wouldn't...
Or no, I bet European, because 2:05 is on SmackDown.
I think they should honestly be using a lot of this free time to have promos, because as I'm going to mention in SmackDown, they were at a blistering pace for the majority of the show, and it wasn't until halfway it kind of slowed down, and I looked at my clock, and it was already 9:30, and I was like, holy crap, how many more matches do we have? Raw kind of has that opposite problem, where it's like, wait,
oh my god, when's this over?
Yeah, it's only 9:30. So
it's like work.
So give them more promo time. Like that Titus O'Neil promo could have been an extra 5 minutes. Like why is Apollo Crews not getting any time on the mic? I still have no idea what his deal is.
He can't talk.
Even if
he cut his tongue out in Zimbabwe.
He can talk. He's good. We've seen him live. He's great.
He has a great look. That guy should be over.
Who are you kidding? Just because he's John Cena.
He was better than Nia Jax walking out there talking about being 20 different ethnicities in an Amazon.
That was at NXT in Fort Pierce. They don't have scripts there.
I'm sorry. The Orlando wasn't much better.
All right,
She
all right.
tried.
So we'll move on to the superior show
Bless
in
her big
SmackDown.
super-sized, plus-size model heart. She tried.
Speaking of the Festival of Friendship, my heart sank when I see KO, that awful villain, thinking he can take the Chris Jericho's highlight reel and present it as its own.
Oh,
'Cause
are
you
we
will
finally on to
never- Ever see
Yeah.
it again.
Yeah, exactly.
He's really pushing this angle. So are we to take it that when Jericho inevitably shows up for the next thing, it's going to be Jericho KO again?
This feud will fight forever, just like KO and Sami Zayn. That would not shock me at all. And you know what? If they time it right, it might be for the U.S. title, or I'm sorry, not the U.S. title, the heavyweight title, or whatever they call the SmackDown one.
We got kind of the standard opening right now, where it's one guy comes out, starts talking
Gets
shit,
interrupted.
and everybody slowly gets interrupted.
Can I make a prediction for the KO Chris Jericho Festival of Friendship? I'm thinking KO's going to win the title somehow, and then he's going to come out on that Monday Night Raw, because he'll be drafted by then, because the Fozzy Tour's going long, and possible movies and things like that. He's like, is there not someone that can stand toe-to-toe with me? And then with the... He's like, no. And then it's going to be, break the walls down. Oh, yeah. And he's just going to bum rush him in the ring and just lay
He won't actually.
down
He'll have the fire.
His candy ass.
We'll have.
It's worth it just for the faces he makes are just unbelievable.
You'll see the
It's right
countdown.
up, his acting's right up there with R-Truth.
You'll see the countdown. It'll go off. The fireworks will hit. Except he won't be out there. He'll actually come from the audience and beat him down.
Lair.
He'll choke him out with the scarf. He'll be like, I got my coquina clutch. But yeah, so we start off with KO, and he starts speaking some French, and then AJ Styles comes out to save us all Americans. He says he's going to bring the U.S. title back to America, and as
Styles talks some nonsense, and then we finally are saved by the true hero of SmackDown Live.
Oh my God.
The Maharaja himself.
The Maharaja? I'm pretty sure it's Maharaja.
That's what I thought it was, and I actually recorded it and went back 4 times. Either they mispronounced it all of tonight, or they realized what they were saying. And
no disqualificationisms.
Yeah, no disqualificationisms.
So the Big Body Mahal comes out, who was the
Hard Body Mahal. Come on, man.
Oh, I'm sorry, Hard Body Mahal.
Bitch tits Mahal. Like it.
He comes out because he was actually going to be the guest on the first ever Kevin Owens highlight reel. It makes me sick saying that.
Now he's the first guest on the AJ Styles highlight reel.
So
as he gets his ass whooped.
Mahal says he's going to beat down AJ as a preview of what's going to happen to Randy Orton at Backlash. AJ retorts that it is KO who's getting a preview of the beatdown he's going to get, and we're all about to witness the AJ Styles highlight reel. Thank you for the spoiler, Odap.
Yep.
And just like that, we have our first match. And I was like, wait, this isn't the main event?
No. I just want to say, I hate you, Jess, because of Jinder Mahal and your Bollywood sing boys. I hate it.
It sounded like that's some hate speech coming from you. Are you sipping that haterade right now? Is it feeling good? Is it feeling good?
I thought champs couldn't drink haterade, Dapper.
All I gotta say is USA.
Are you feeling some perspiration on the back of your neck? Are you starting to sweat a little, breathe heavy, knowing I'm coming for that title belt and Jinder Mahal I called 6 months ago?
Oh my God.
All right, so let's get to the actual match.
You will never take my title, Jess.
AJ Styles versus...
The title you stole.
AJ Styles
How
versus...
do you hate Jinder Mahal? You're him.
I am not Jinder Mahal. I have a birth certificate from here.
We'll settle this off the pod, guys. We'll settle this after the show. So AJ Styles versus Jinder Mahal with KO on commentary. So SmackDown doesn't
put as high as my dick.
Oh
Are you
my
guys
God,
done?
it's-
Are we gonna have to put you guys on timeout, and I'm gonna finish the show by myself? Cause I will. I will. That's what I thought.
Coming for you, Jess.
All right, hey, that was one. You only get one. So yeah, SmackDown doesn't fuck around. At 15 minutes in, we get our main event. Jinder starts the match off strong against AJ, landing some hard shots and using some heel moves. I think he like rakes him in the eye. AJ counters a suplex and is able to hit a springboard forearm. Jinder takes the match back over. All right. For those listening, Jess drew his own version of the belt real quick. So
A circle and a rectangle.
So it does look like WWE's continuing to book Jinder as pretty strong, because he does seem to to dominate the most of the match against arguably SmackDown's top babyface in Styles.
Well, something I enjoyed about the commentary team they had going, other than KO joining it for a match, which I feel SmackDown works best when they have 4 people on that commentary track. But
they should just replace. They should just replace JBL with KO, but KO's
no. There's no replacing JBL. That man's a national treasure.
No, he's not. Anyway, what were you saying, Jess? Sorry.
Before I was so rudely interrupted by yet another jobber who I had to beat to get my title belt back.
Oh my God.
I truly feel that they were calling themselves out tonight. They're like, yeah, Jinder Mahal might have, not done anything for the last couple months. He came over to SmackDown, and all of a sudden he's getting
the land of opportunity.
Land of opportunity. Yeah. They're calling it as it is.
Jinder Mahal has only won 1 match on his own, and that was when he beat Heath Slater, so he could have his first SmackDown title contract.
Anybody who has done the Jack Black DVD workout training will tell you, you only need 1 cock up, John.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm gonna.
And also, don't forget that you wake up at the crack of noon. Remember.
Oh, exactly.
So AJ eventually looks like he's going to set up the phenomenal forearm, but the Singh brothers distract the ref so KO can deck Styles in the knee with the title belt. Mahal then hits the Cobra Clutch Slam, aka the Colossus. They're not calling it the Colossus. So
I can't even talk. I must be part of a SmackDown at this point.
But I thought it was a good match. I was kind of surprised that Styles didn't seem to get a lot of offense in, but it seems like a pretty typical finish with the Singh brothers going in with the distraction. Do you think that that's setting up for what's going to happen with Backlash?
Yes.
Shane O'Mac hasn't banned the Singh brothers from going to ringside or anything.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a murky finish, but I think Jinder's gonna be walking away with that belt. Speaking of which, should we do predictions while we're doing this? Should we save it
I think
for
we're going to
after?
save that for a separate episode.
Okay.
So after that, we continue our blistering pace.
Oh, shit.
We'll continue our blistering pace, just like SmackDown. We get the Fashion Files, episode 3.
Best part just keeps getting better.
So Tyler Breeze has gone too deep undercover as a janitor. He's collected,
even though he looked like Hulk Hogan.
Yeah. So he's collected some fashion faux pas around the SmackDown locker room, including the Uggos Day 1 is H shirts. Tyler doesn't know if they can win, but Fandango's able to smack him out of it, and we leave on an extended freeze frame.
To you, Jess.
No, you got to keep going for 12 days.
So yeah, this is a great
5
one.
days.
I still think the first one was the best one, but second and third weren't far behind.
No, they've kept it solid, and I hope we get this continuing until New Day shows up.
Yeah.
So then we get like a 5-second Randy Orton promo. Randy lets Jinder know in an interview that America doesn't like him because he's an ass.
That's why I hate Jinder Mahal. Because Randy Orton is accurate. He's an ass.
So you don't like any heels?
If Kevin Owens, the face of America,
No.
is supporting Jinder Mahal, you can't find it in your bigot heart to support him as well?
Correct.
Wow. Okay, we're learning some truths here on KayfabeIsNotDead.
He is an asshole. There's a lot of heels out there where I'm like, you know what? I like you, Braun Strowman. I like you, Kevin Owens, the face of the United States.
We've been over this. Braun Strowman is the top babyface of the company.
That's because on Raw they have no one else. Their next babyface is R-Truth. The next babyface below him is R-Truth.
May he rest in peace.
we wish the Truth family the best as they,
I will say
get
this.
over
as they deal with this difficult
I will
past.
step aside of my personal feelings for Jinder Mahal and say he is probably the best heel they have on SmackDown.
Would you go as far as to say he is the best looking?
No. He's not. He looks like, you know how they always said Hulk Hogan looked like they left him out in the sun too long?
God.
And he looked like just burnt shoe leather? Jinder Mahal took burnt shoe leather to another level.
Could you say he took it to the Neville level?
Yes, he did.
Anyway,
I refuse to acknowledge that as a joke.
We
He's
continue
just an ass.
we continue the fashion files momentum, because then immediately after the promo we get a Breezango versus the Colons, aka Primo and Epico. This is a pretty fast. We get a pretty fast pace.
Yeah,
Oh,
where
the
did this name
clones.
come from? Was this something I missed the previous week?
When they first came back, I think 3 weeks ago, they were introduced as the
Colognes.
The Colognes, yeah, not the colons. not
No,
not
that's
the
what
colons.
Jinder Mahal is. He looked like he just crawled out of a colon.
So,
Ref, do you want to go ahead and make this an official match?
Okay, guys, remember, I gave you guys one warning.
In 12 days.
Yeah. 12 days, we'll set something up. So
Better watch.
So
back.
we get a pretty fast-paced match. Breeze takes a beating, but is finally able to get the hot tag to Fandango. Fandango takes the fight to Epico and is able to land the Falcon Arrow for the pin. Their celebration.
Is that what his finisher is called?
Well, no,
The giant leg drop?
No. He hits a Falcon Arrow, like the one that Seth Rollins does. He didn't do the leg drop. He actually hit the Falcon Arrow, like suplex into the pin. But their celebration is cut short though, as the Usos, or I'm sorry, the Usos, come out and drop in another amazing promo. Breezango better worry, because in 5 days at Backlash they won't be in their police district, but in the Usos penitentiary.
Yes.
So
they have the best
that
promos.
was amazing.
They are probably by far the best promo on SmackDown I can think of.
Yeah, how do they get so dope on the mic, going from Raw where they're like,
Because
come
they've
on,
always
cuz.
been dope on the mic, but when you're a face, you can't say anything.
You can't say cool shit.
Yeah.
Like 5
I'm
days.
surprised. Yeah. Or he's like, you want to play games? Well, it's going to be like the police versus the thugs. I was like, oh, damn, they're going that way. And now it's like, we won't take you to prison. Oh, damn. Tyler Breeze, you're too pretty. You can't go to prison. Fandango, you probably could. You look like you might make Tyler Breeze hold your pocket.
Yeah, I loved when
You gonna drop that soap, Moose?
Yeah, the Usos, they just flipped that script, and I am glad that they could count. They're teaching the WWE universe how to count one promo at a time.
Someone has to.
So then we get a waste of literally like 20 minutes, and I think this is
that
why.
the Jinder Mahal match?
No. I think this is what makes me feel like.
Keep it coming. It's gonna make my victory all the sweeter.
It might be recency bias because we are recording right after SmackDown. But I thought this killed SmackDown's momentum, and this is why I thought Raw was better. We get the women's contract signing, and oh my God, what a waste!
You could hear the record scratch.
Yeah.
You mean you don't like it when they all take turns on the microphone before they sign a piece of paper?
Okay, guys.
Going back to what I said, the commentators even called it out. They're like, "Yeah, we don't have the best of luck with contract signings. I'm not sure why we do them."
I don't know. I'm not going to try to go on a 30-minute rant about why the welcoming committee doesn't work. But do we all agree the welcoming committee does not work?
Well,
Yes.
you have a perfect
Especially when
division
it's
of a
4
small
girls.
roster. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, the roster's only 6 people.
So are they bringing the tag belts up? Are they making this a thing, or?
There's no tag belts.
That's what I'm saying. What, like, you can't have a small roster divided into 2 factions that are just
But-
fighting each other.
But Jess, how else is Charlotte going to become the 16-time women's champion in 3 years? You got to
That's my
cycle through
point.
every month.
She needs to be winning that title belt at the Backlash, not doing this multi-tag match that nobody cares about.
That's all they do for the girls.
I did want to call in the 911 to the fashion police because I want to know what the hell is going on with Natalia's hair. Like,
She's a cat.
I'm not about
I like
that.
that hat
She's a
cat
cat.
setup with. You can't even describe it. It's just like duct taping 2
She's not a bad looking
hairballs
girl,
on top of your head.
but when like
She's not.
that entire package, like her leather bodysuit or whatever the hell it is with the hair, it is not working for me. I'm not about it.
Would it
I
be safe
actually-
to say you don't want none?
I do not want none. Double
You
negative.
don't want none.
Shit. No, I do not.
You don't want none.
Yeah, I don't like it. How about that? I'm not gonna get mixed up in semantics.
Here I was thinking you were a farmer boy with that southern strength.
But I honestly think I don't hate Natalia. I don't want this to sound like this like the Natalia hate train. But I
Like
think
the
that
Jinder Mahal hate train.
I think the problem is with her being the leader. I think that honestly it's the problem with the problem is the mixture of the welcoming committee. They don't have the proper recipes for a good stable. It's not like
Nope.
the Shield where you have the strong one, the talker, and
You know
just
what would
the
have been
best
a
one.
great welcoming committee? Natalia. And maybe even put Natalia as the leader because she's the veteran. Natalia, Charlotte, and Tamina.
Well, who are
Let
they
it be
welcoming
those-
at this point then?
Well, they
No,
would call
they're-
it something else.
They can call them whatever the hell they want, but they are the measuring stick. They are the multi-generation wrestlers.
hmm See that's at least
The
an
legacy
angle.
versus the new.
Yeah,
Yes,
the
this
new
new
blood, the
bullshit
young bloods.
Staten Island chinless people.
And honestly, I think the only one from the welcoming committee that I've liked at all is Carmella. But
She doesn't say anything.
what I wanted to ask is, have we seen Tamina do anything since she's come back? I'm pretty sure she hasn't even been in a match.
No, but
just
she's about
collecting a paycheck and waiting to die at this point.
I see what you did there. So anyway, after the promo, we get Naomi versus Carmella.
Is it because you hate her because she's Samoan?
I like Samoans.
I was actually
like
going
all
to point
people.
out if you take the spread, we each hate a different person from Canada perfectly equally across the board. Maybe I take it away with my hatred of Sami Zayn.
Maybe that's tainting my opinion of Natalia because I think she's dragging the Hart Foundation down by
I
being
think
crappy.
Vince McMahon is dragging the Hart Foundation down via Natalia Hart. is
So
what I
we
think.
finally get our match. We get some back and forth until Ellsworth helps out and gets thrown out. Naomi dominates the match until she chases Carmella outside and eats a super kick. The ref then throws out Tamina and Natalia, but as they walk out, they get into a brawl with Charlotte and Becky Lynch. As the ref's distracted, Carmella gets the roll-up pin for the win. So that's pretty much been the formula for every single match between these 6 women. Do we actually think that this is going to repeat at Backlash with the heels
Yes.
winning?
Yes.
Really?
But I do. But did you notice Naomi tell Ellsworth, and you, girl,
yeah.
I'm gonna snatch that. Like, we're just gonna let that one slide. You just called a man a woman.
I think that's the second time Becky has directly called Ellsworth a woman, and I'm waiting for that one-on-one.
We've talked about
intergender
this last
match.
week.
Yeah.
We've talked about this last week.
He doesn't have an
Danny.
Adam's
Santino
apple,
Marella.
so
He's Santino Marella or whatever his name was.
You know, just because you choose to be socially ignorant to a trans person's desire to identify,
Oh my god.
Doesn't mean
He goes into the men's bathroom in Target. He's not trans.
Oh my god.
He just plays one on
it
TV.
Makes sense. It makes sense. All right, listeners, I want to hear your comments about James Ellsworth and what kind of person he is. We should
Chinless freak.
We should
The slug.
we
else does JBL
should make a
say?
poll and really figure that out, because I think we need to get to the bottom of that. But I would love to see an intergender match between Becky and James Ellsworth, and I think James Ellsworth would stand no chance. He would definitely job out to Becky.
I do feel they need to do something with him, because
I think though that
he's been with the company almost a year. He's, we talked about this last week. Let's just move on.
Yeah, we'll get into predictions.
There is nobody on the roster who can challenge him. He beat Styles 3 times.
He could challenge the Singh brothers.
There
you go.
They should do
They're just as shitty as
the
him.
Colognes, the Singh brothers, and special guest referee James Ellsworth,
And everyone else on 205.
And who's the guy with the baton that I always forget about?
He's on Raw now.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Chris Hawkins or Kurt Hawkins.
Kurt Hawkins.
Yep.
Thank you. Sorry. I'm sorry, Kurt. I'm sure you're a great guy. I haven't seen enough of you. But then we get a Dolph Ziggler promo. Showing all the amazing things that Nakamura has done, except there's no footage.
File footage not found.
Yeah. He feels
We've been in this situation many a time.
He feels disrespected, and instead he shows a Ziggler video package that shows off all his greatest hits, including him winning the title. Dolph is ready to spit on all the fans' faces when he beats Nakamura before his WWE career even starts. I thought it was a great promo. I thought the video package did a good job. I kind of want to see Dolph, I feel like he could go even meaner. I don't know if it's the PG stuff that's kind of like preventing him from going, balls deep as far as being an asshole. But I'm liking it. I know that Ziggler stands absolutely no chance at Backlash. I think we can all agree on that. But I think it will be a good match, because I know Ziggler can put on great matches. He can, when he's given something to actually do. Any comments?
True. I mean, I think Ziggler, he's gonna make Shinsuke known to the WWE universe, because I love his promos of let me show you all the stuff Shinsuke's done. Nothing. It's a great promo.
So Shinsuke's gonna climb up off of Ziggler's back into the top of the card.
No, he's not. You guys have this wrong, and when we do predictions, I will explain very simply that anybody who fights Ziggler has to fight him 12 times.
Oh, okay. We'll definitely have a breakdown of your theory. We could definitely get some charts.
It's not a theory; it's a fact at this point.
We'll get some charts involved, some calculus. We'll do the trigonometry. We'll get to the bottom of that.
Thugonomics, bro.
We'll get to the thugonomics. Sami Zayn promo. So Sami's here to let us know that he has a match at Backlash. Against who? I wonder.
Who?
Baron Corbin, of course.
Oh my God.
Corbin might be bigger and stronger, but Sami has nothing to lose, and that makes him even more dangerous. He has no quit, and that is until Baron Corbin attacks him from behind and beats him down.
Baron Corbin, face of the company.
So then we get our main event, Randy Orton versus Baron Corbin. And I thought this was an interesting main event. We get, instead of the speed versus strength that we've been talking about, we get strength versus strength. And Orton seems to have control early on, but he also uses his technique to get in some headlocks, and he almost hits an early RKO. Baron yells that it can't be that easy, and eventually lands a nasty clothesline. We get back from commercial, and Corbin is stomping a mud hole and walking it dry on the champ. Corbin continues to beat the Viper down and starts talking trash until Orton dodges a shoulder thrust and Baron takes himself out on the ring post. Orton lands a power slam and then a hanging DDT. Corbin slides out and then runs around the ring to try to get behind Orton, but eats an RKO. And that was the finish. It was weird and sudden, but I thought it was a great match.
Yeah, I'm. This was definitely the first SmackDown I've seen where it just completely ran out of steam going into the end.
I honestly think it was the whole women's kerfuffle.
Yeah,
because I thought the match was good. The finish was kind of weird though. It seemed pretty abrupt because as we hear Orton's music play, out comes Jinder to let him know that this is the last win as champ he's going to have. As he informs Randy, the Singh brothers come and jump Randy from behind, and while Orton fights back, it's only a matter of time until they and Mahal take over. Mahal then lands another Colossus, I guess that's what they're calling it, and we fade out as Jinder holds the belt up high.
Yeah. The only way he wins.
If I gave Raw a B-, I gotta give this SmackDown a C+. It started off really strong and then it kind of just died.
I was gonna say I'll give it a D. It definitely is not a hard D though. It's I didn't realize what I did.
Yeah. Is it a soft one, Jess?
I realized what I just did.
We did not see what you did there, Jess. We did not.
It had.
No, but we all heard it.
It had 2-3 great segments. I mean, the Usos killing it again.
Yeah,
there
were some high highs for sure, and that's why it feels weird because there was a lot of good stuff.
It was all in that first hour. I think that's what the problem was.
Mm-hmm. Dapper, what did you think?
I mean, I agree with you guys. I thought SmackDown had more memorable moments and great parts, but as a whole, this one kind of fell flat for me. Mm-hmm. I mean, I loved the Usos promo. I loved Alexa Bliss, or not Alexa Bliss. I loved the Randy Orton parts. But it fell flat.
Yep.
It was not memorable. I will forget all about it come next week.
Did you guys have any other closing thoughts on everything that we chatted about today?
I think we're gonna have an interesting backlash. I think they did a great job setting it up. This episode didn't hit for whatever reason.
Yeah, I think it was a kind of a weird shows on both ends. A lot of ups, some weird downs. Anyway, that was it for our show, guys. We're actually going to have one more show this week. We're going to do Backlash predictions. Hopefully one of either Jess or myself can take the belt from Dapper because he won't shut the fuck up about it.
You will never take my belt.
But then after we do predictions, then we'll have a review of Backlash, which is this Sunday. And like always, if you like what you see, give us a subscribe. Shoot a comment, hit us up on email, and let us know what you guys think. Have a good one.
Did the thought of Dapper winning again give you a stroke there at the end?
Yes, it did. It actually did. But have a good one.